Harriet Nelson was the woman America thought they knew, the perfect TV mom with flawless manners and warm smiles. But her real story is a surprising, untold journey filled with pain, rebellion, and resilience. Born Peggy Lou Snyder on July 8, 1909, in Des Moines, Iowa. She made her stage debut at just 6 weeks old, literally carried into the spotlight by her actor parents in a traveling stock company. She wasn't just visiting the stage, she lived on it. By 3, she had speaking roles. By her teens, she was juggling school and constant touring, learning discipline most adults couldn't handle. At 16, her parents separated, forcing her to choose between stability and her dreams. She chose independence, dropped out just before graduation, and joined the Capitol Theater's ballet corps. While most teens her age were finishing school dances, Harriet was performing nightly. And just a few years later, she found herself at Harlem's Cotton Club, a glamorous and dangerous hotbed of jazz, gangsters, and fame. While legends like Duke Ellington and Cab Calloway played the stage, mobsters like Lucky Luciano lurked in the shadows. In this world, Harriet thrived, but at a cost. She picked up cigarettes at 13 and kept the habit hidden for decades, even as it slowly destroyed her lungs. As vaudeville flourished, Harriet proved herself night after night, performing with comedians like Ken Murray and Burt Lahr. She was the calm, straight woman to their chaos, mastering comedic timing and learning how to shine without stealing the spotlight. Her talent earned her 4 performances at New York's Palace Theater, the ultimate stamp of vaudeville success. At 21, she made a mistake that nearly ended her. She married Roy Sedley, a violent, smooth-talking comedian 9 years her senior. He drank hard, partied harder, and abused her emotionally and verbally. Though she left him, legal separation took 2 long years, trapping her between courts and chaos. Then, in 1932, she met Ozzie Nelson, a saxophonist with calm energy and a protective spirit. Their chemistry was instant. On stage, they were magic. Off stage, he was everything Roy wasn't. She changed her name to Harriet Hilliard and became the voice of Ozzie's band, not just singing, but entertaining, joking, commanding the spotlight. In 1935, they married and formed a partnership built on trust and creative equality. That year, Harriet also signed a film contract with RKO, landing roles alongside Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers in Follow the Fleet. Critics praised her charm and screen presence. Hollywood took notice, but Harriet stepped back from solo stardom to support Ozzie and build a home. Between 1941 and 1944, she starred in multiple wartime comedies and musicals, proving herself as both a singer and actress. Films like Sweetheart, Of the Campus, and Jukebox Ginny showcased her versatility, but something bigger was coming. In 1944, with Red Skelton drafted, Ozzie launched The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet on radio. It was an overnight hit, and by 1952, ABC brought it to television. The show ran for 14 years, the longest-running live-action sitcom of its time. America watched Harriet raise David and Ricky, laugh at Ozzie's jokes, and represent an idealized version of American motherhood. To make the illusion even more real, they recreated their actual house on a studio set, right down to the furniture. But behind the camera, Harriet was still the vaudeville veteran, sharp, fearless, and far from the prim persona millions adored. She loved off-color jokes, enjoyed cocktails, and embraced people others rejected, including members of the LGBTQ community, a bold stance in 1950s Hollywood. Despite the picture-perfect image, Harriet made painful sacrifices. She gave up a rising film career to prioritize family. While contemporaries like Judy Garland and Rita Hayworth became icons, Harriet was attending PTA meetings and watching from the sidelines. She admitted later that it stung knowing she had the talent but letting it go for stability. After the show ended in 1966, she faded from public view. When Ozzie died of liver cancer in 1975, her world unraveled. She withdrew from Hollywood, stopped attending events, and rarely gave interviews. Then, in 1985, tragedy struck again when her youngest son, Ricky Nelson, died in a plane crash. Harriet was devastated. The once vibrant woman became reclusive and quiet, buried in grief. And though she had hidden it for decades, her lifelong smoking had taken its toll. She suffered from emphysema and could barely walk across a room. By the 1990s, she lived in near solitude at her home in Laguna Beach, surrounded by silence and memories. Harriet Nelson died peacefully in her sleep on October 2, 1994, at age 85, from congestive heart failure. Her son David was by her side, holding her hand, the last remaining member of a once iconic family. She was buried at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Hollywood Hills. Next to Ozzie and Ricky, their final resting place has become a quiet landmark for fans who remember a simpler time. For decades, Harriet Nelson embodied the American ideal, but behind that image was a woman far more complex, talented, and brave than television ever showed. Her legacy isn't just the sitcom reruns or the gentle smile millions saw on screen. The strength of a survivor, the sacrifice of a mother, and the hidden fire of a woman who lived on her own terms, even if the world never saw it.